Good morning and Merry Christmas. We are so glad to be welcoming you here to this very special collaborative Unitarian Universalism service from across the Bay Area. We're glad to be here, and I'm glad to be welcoming our congregations here in Walnut Creek, but also in Davis, Oakland, Hayward, Berkeley, and San Francisco. We are so glad that you have chosen to spend a little time with us. And whether you're watching this service on Sunday morning, Christmas Day, or whether you're watching it at some other time, we are so grateful that you are here and hope that you will feel motivated to check out the website of the congregation nearest you and sign up to do something to connect in the new year. And if you are available after the service today, this congregation will be hosting a Zoom reception. You can find the link on our calendar at www.mduuc.org. And if you click on the calendar, there's a link on that particular event for today. We'd love to have you gather and to make this a beautiful Bay Area-wide Unitarian Universalist gathering. So wherever you are, may your spirit be enlivened by participation in our worship today, and welcome. It's good to be together.
We gather together on this Christmas day as fellow sojourners looking for light, for hope, for peace, and for love.
We gather as people from many backgrounds, many faiths, many cultures, and many spiritual paths.
But as we light this chalice, we gather as one body, looking to the Nativity for its message to all of humanity.
Its message is that there is light, there is hope, there is peace, there is love.
Tonight is the second to last night of Hanukkah, and so to honor our Jewish roots, we light the menorah this morning with these words from Unitarian Universalist author and religious educator Lynn Ungar. So what miracle will you take? Which, if any, is worth believing? The ability of people, through their own efforts, to overcome seemingly insurmountable odds, or the ability of something beyond us to carry us when our own strength fails? The greatness of the humanist tradition lies in its faith in human beings, and our capacity to learn and grow and choose to live lives dedicated to love and honor and truth and compassion. The greatness of theist traditions, such as Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, lies in their faith that we human beings are not alone in the world, that we are sustained by a love infinitely greater than ourselves. Dyed-in-the-wool Unitarian Universalist that I am, I guess I'd have to say that for me the answer is both. That the role of religion is always to hold us in that tension between doing the hard work, which justice demands of us, and resting in the knowledge that we are held by a universe which is always beyond our comprehension, but which, for unknowable reasons, sustains the infinite variety and creativity which we call life.
Welcome to a very special Christmas Day service. In this new era of multi-platform worship, we have amazing benefits of technology and the staff who can use that technology. Today, many Unitarian Universalist congregations across the Bay Area and beyond have joined our hearts, time, and talents to build a space that honors and celebrates the birth of Jesus. As Unitarian Universalists, we hold a deep appreciation for the diversity of beliefs and traditions within our own faith communities. And today, we are taking a moment to recognize the story of Jesus' birth. We are gathering as Unitarian Universalists in this physical and holy space, remembering that love is at the center of our tradition. For me, the story of Christmas is one of gratitude. In a traditional sense, there is the gratitude for the birth of a child who would ultimately change the world through the promise of salvation. While I, like many of us, would not focus on the salvation story of Jesus the Christ, it is undeniable to me that the story of this tiny baby and his path of transformation into an adult is a story of gratefulness and love. As theologian Howard Thurman wrote, the spirit of Christmas is the spirit of love and of generosity, and it is a spirit that is desperately needed in a world that is so often marked by division and conflict. When we think beyond the manger birth and look to the adult the child becomes, there is a lesson in gratitude. I feel gracious hope in the example of transformation from the lowly stable to the highly influential rebel crucified by Rome. I am reminded of a favorite Christmas song that I learned many years ago in my Baptist choir called "No Golden Carriage, No Bright Toy." In this song, we hear the verse, "No crystal palace, no warm bed, no downy pillow to grace your head, no bridled horses, no great feast, only the straw and the scent of beast." This small child from humble beginnings would go on to alter his communities by becoming a fighter for the marginalized and the oppressed. He stood up for those who were mistreated by the powerful in society, and he worked tirelessly to bring about justice and healing to a broken world. Does this sound and feel familiar to you? It should. These are core values of our Unitarian Universalist tradition, and for me, in this season, it is not hard to feel the gratitude for the example that Jesus the human set for us. This story is about gratitude for the human experience of transformation. In each of our lives, we journey to become our better selves. And though we also may begin surrounded by the scent of beasts of our own making, be they racism, sexism, queerphobia, or just ignorance of the needs of others, there is a path out of the manger stall and into the streets, just like Jesus. After all, if one of our most revered religious teachers can do it, so can we all. So today, as we reflect together, may the light of this story move us to contemplate where in our own lives we need to embrace the gift of transformation and how we might work to inspire our community to be more loving, more understanding, and more committed to justice in all that we do. It is the reason we tell the story. Grateful and going forward. Come, let us worship together.
Let us settle into a time of meditation. Relax your shoulders. Deepen your breath. Gently soften your gaze or close your eyes, whatever feels most comfortable to you. Take a deep breath in, expanding your belly. Hold it 1, 2, 3, slowly letting your breath out. Let's do that again. Take a deep breath in, expanding your belly. Hold it 1, 2, 3, slowly letting it out. And once more, take a deep breath in, expanding your belly. Hold it 1, 2, 3, and slowly let it out. Now let your breath move into its natural rhythm. Imagine you have stepped into a winter wonderland. As you walk, you hear the crunch of snow. You breathe in the freshness of the crisp, cool air. You smell the pine of the trees. You are warmed by the taste of hot cocoa on your tongue. In a clearing, you come upon a cabin. The windows are aglow with warmth and welcome. You enter and find a fire ablaze in the fireplace, and a cozy chair beckoning you to have a seat. As you snuggle in and enjoy the warmth, you take another deep breath and reflect on the past year. The sorrows that have hung heavy, the gratitude that have woven through the days, the joys that have brought light. You think of the people you have lost, those you have yearned to be with, and the loved ones who remain constant. As you take another deep breath, you acknowledge the gifts of this past year, the days you have witnessed, the church community you belong to, the lessons you have learned, the very breath you take. Take another breath and reflect on all you have lost, experienced, witnessed, learned, and connected to this year. Let's rest in that for just a moment. Slowly return to your current space, taking a deep breath in, holding it 1, 2, 3, and slowly breathing it out. If your eyes were closed, gently open them. May you carry with you the peace and calm that each breath brought. Hold on to the warmth of the fire and the connection to community. May it be so.
Our story for all ages this morning is The Real Santa by Nancy Red.
The Real Santa by Nancy Red. Illustrations by Charnel Pinckney Barlow. I love, love, love Santa. His happy face is all over our home, sitting on our Christmas tree, smiling on our gift wrap, and stitched onto my sweater. Santa's on our front door, he's on our mailbox, even on Grandma and Grandpa's car. Every Christmas Eve, my grandparents drive to our house and spend the night with us. It's one of our family traditions. After dinner, Grandpa hands me a present. Grandma tells me to open it carefully with my little sister. I help her untie the bow, and we both look inside the box. First, we see a cherry red hat. Then a bushy beard appears. Next, we find a pair of twinkling brown eyes and a jiggly belly, and we know who it is. Santa! He's holding a long scroll filled with names. I check to make sure my sister and I are on Santa's list. We are! Ho, 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 Daddy says, as he carries a tray of mugs from the kitchen. Who wants cocoa? I take a big sip and feel something sticky on my top lip. Look at my mustache, I say. Mommy laughs and takes a picture. You look just like a minty Santa. I don't want our new Santa to get spilled on, so I put down my cocoa and stand him on the fireplace, right in the middle of our Santa collection. We have so many Santas in our home, and none of them look the same. Some have thick beards and bellies. Some wear bright red suits and black boots. Many ride in sleighs and carry big sacks of toys. One of my favorite Santas rides on a surfboard, catching a wave. I love all my Santas, but on Christmas Eve, only one matters, the real Santa. Which one could he be? Maybe Daddy knows. He's setting out a plate of Christmas cookies. Daddy, which one of our Santas looks like the real Santa? I don't know, little man, he says. Maybe Mommy knows. I don't think that Santa wants us to know what he looks like, Mommy says, carrying carrots for the reindeer. That's why he comes so late at night. No one has ever seen the real Santa, sweetie, Grandma says. She's pouring a big glass of milk for Santa. No one? Grandpa, what about you? Nope, says Grandpa as he braids my sister's hair for bed. Your mama wanted to take his picture once when she was your age, but she couldn't stay awake. This gives me a great big idea. I ask Mommy if I can borrow her camera. She smiles, hands me a gift bag from under the tree and says, "Happy early Christmas." I can't believe my luck. Thank you, Mommy. At bedtime, we all read a story together and say goodnight. As soon as my sister falls asleep, I tiptoe back downstairs. All night long, I camp out under the Christmas tree with my camera. I am determined to stay awake and catch the real Santa in action. I sing Christmas carols, I count ornaments. But Santa takes too long to come. Dozens of Santas dance around in my dreams. Which one could the real Santa be? Does he wear a red or a golden hat? Is his beard gray or black? Are the toys in a satchel or does he carry a sack? In my sleep, I hear footsteps at the fireplace and presents sliding under the tree. Santa! I tried opening my eyes to see him, but I'm so tired that everything looks blurry. Then I feel myself being picked up and carried to bed. I sneak a quick peek, and that's all I need. Santa looks just like I hoped he would. Santa looks just like me.
And in case you're wondering, this is my Santa. He's been with me for more than 20 years. So whoever you are, wherever you're celebrating, whatever you're celebrating, we both wish you a safe, happy, and healthy holiday season. Blessings.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings, good tidings, good tidings we bring. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us a figgy, bring us some, now bring us a figgy, bring us some, now bring us a figgy, bring us and bring some out here. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. For we all like figgy pudding, we all like figgy pudding, for we all like figgy pudding. So bring some out, bring some good tidings, good tidings, good tidings to your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we won't go till we won't go, we won't go till we won't go, and we won't go till we've got some, so bring some out here. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. A Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And now we pray. Spirit of life that goes by so many names, Spirit of love that has taken so many shapes on our earth over the millennia of human habitation here. We open our hearts to make room for you. With the innocence and the imagination of a child, help us to hear the beauty and the magic in the Christmas story. Let us feel the love that surrounded the Holy Family and allow that love into our cold and unsheltered parts of ourselves that we might heal, the parts that are lonely and on the road. Whatever may bring sorrow into our lives at this time, let us feel here the presence of a humble community. A community that offers warmth and a shelter from life's hardships, that offers companionship on our journeys. Spirit of hope, God of our understanding, slow our minds as we contemplate the story of a poor family, a child born homeless yet adored by the wise ones, a child recognized as possessing the holiness and the promise of love for which every human heart hungers and of which every human heart is capable. The Roman Empire is many centuries away from us, yet we too know what it is to live in the midst of an empire, fraught with domination of peoples and land. We too know what it is to live amid the struggles of too many simply to survive, let alone be respected. We too know what it is to live in a time of division and power struggle with the threat of persecution looming. Spirit of creativity, stream as a comet through our beings. Let us follow the blessing of your infinite possibilities toward what surprising good thing may happen next in our strange and wondrous universe, our blue-green marble of the earth, our continent teeming with diverse peoples and creatures. Help us to ready ourselves for the role we might play in the dramas of our day. We open our hearts and minds, inviting in holy wisdom, humility, and strength for the work ahead. Consecrate us in courage and community as we seek to birth something new and yet something so old, as we prepare to be midwives in the rebirth of love in our own unfolding story. May it be so. Amen, amen, namaste, and blessed be.
Good morning, beloveds, and Merry Christmas. I am Michael Macias, the intern minister at Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church, and my pronouns are they and them. In this season, I am recalling the biblical scripture of Matthew chapter 6, verse 21, which says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." This morning, we hope that your heart is surrounded with the treasure of loved ones, taking in the gifts of joy and connection wherever and with whomever you find them. As we honor this sacred day, may we be reminded that our Unitarian Universalist communities hold an abundance of gifts that we treasure, such as love, curiosity, spiritual formation, justice, and community. On this Christmas morning, we invite you to lean into the practice of generosity and give of your time, talent, or treasure as you can to support our Unitarian Universalist churches. Please visit your congregation's giving page to contribute to your respective community.
I invite you to join now in our responsive reading, which is called Joy. I will be reading parts and your part will be on the screen. I'm going to invite you to join me in a responsive reading. And I want to say, when we're doing a virtual service, it's a little weird sometimes to join in a responsive reading. So I'm going to invite you to think about however you want to respond. You might want to just say the words, and the response is going to be welcome joy. It's pretty simple. We can try it together. Welcome joy. You might want to do something else, like just make a gesture of welcome, opening your hands, extending them, or just putting your hands on your heart. Perhaps you just want to sit back and let the words be part of what your experience is. However you want to participate, I am glad that you are participating in our responsive reading this morning. It is, if you haven't figured out, about welcoming joy. Joy is the visitor who comes, sometimes as sparkling as a Christmas cracker and sometimes as stealthy as a comforting shadow. Welcome, joy. Joy creeps into our hearts, into the cracks and the shadows like the winter visiting mouse, sometimes quiet as light on a leaf, or the remembrance of the colors of a beloved's eyes. Welcome, joy. Joy lives in this moment and also in memory, offering us sips and savorings today, and also reminding us to taste and sample from the cherished store of memories that is always there to use. Welcome, joy. Joy sneaks in, puts hands over our eyes, and then, ta-da, the world has more sparkle and snap. Welcome, joy. Joy gallops into our days like a child on Christmas morning, flinging open the parental doors, all quick kisses and over-enthusiastic hugs, tired of waiting and eager for action. Welcome, joy. Joy knows our hearts are filled to the brim this year with busyness and sorrow and a little anxiety as well about what the next days will bring. And all of this demands still that we create a small place and welcome joy. In all its forms, in all its shapes, let us make space for the visitor joy to be among us on this Christmas day. Joy, we welcome you in all your forms and take your gifts into our hearts.
Good morning, beloveds, and Merry Christmas. I am Michael Macias. I'm the intern minister at the Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church, and my pronouns are they and them. No life is completely free from suffering, and just like a pinch of salt enhances the flavor of sweets, experiencing suffering enables us to savor joy. The key is to not be swayed by our troubles. We must cast away the common notion that difficulties equal misfortune. In the book of Job, chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, amid his own difficulties, Job cries out to the divine and says, I loathe my very life. Therefore, I will give free rein to my complaint and speak out in the bitterness of my soul. I say to God, do not declare me guilty, but tell me what charges you have against me. Joy. It's probably the last word most of us would use to describe the book of Job. After all, what could be less joyful than the nightmare of Job's suffering in verses 1 and 2? Still, in this story of Job, the divine exalts him and describes Job by declaring, there is no one like him in all the earth, a praise often reserved for the divine themselves. There is so much more to Job's experience, to our experience, and in the universe that Job suspects. Even though he can't touch it, he is surrounded by an abundance of opportunities to see and encounter joy. In the book of Job, the divine asks him where he was when all the universe had been created and all the people shouted for joy. How often do we feel joy? A truly pure, unadulterated feeling of delight and bliss. In our younger years, joy was a familiar feeling for many of us. And as we become adults, we're surrounded by more and more rules to follow. We find ourselves wrapped up in the busyness of life and its occasional messiness. Along the way, we forget how to find joy. We forget to be present in our own lives. We forget what it means to lean into a deeper connection with our communities, to embrace the magic of nature, to create rituals, to honor our gifts, and to practice gratitude for all that we have. There is no one like you in all the earth. We do not need a G-O-D to remind us of this, because there is a divinity within us, a divine energy, a spark. And when we honor this, we are able to nurture an experience of life that reminds us of the impermanence of our despair, like Job, and illuminates the presence of joy embedded within and around us. The key is to let our inner light be a compass for a life brimming with joy.
In time of silver rain, the earth puts forth new life again. Green grasses grow, and flowers lift their heads, and over the plain the wonder spreads of life, of life, of life. In time of silver rain, the butterflies lift silken wings, and trees put forth new leaves to sing in joy. Beneath the sky in time of silver rain, when spring and life are new.
One of my hobbies is scrapbooking and paper crafting. For years, I would design and personally create my own holiday cards, each year with a special theme and its own color palette. I'd even coordinate my decorations and wrapping paper to that theme. I did this for years, until I went to seminary. All of a sudden, my available time and, if I'm honest, my interest in all that commotion seemed to vanish. I found myself managing care for 2 disabled siblings, working full-time, and going to school full-time. Christmas was always about celebrating with my family, but the decorations and the menu and the presents just didn't seem that important anymore. It was about us being together,
and doing our favorite things, laughing, singing, watching sports, and playing Scrabble. During the holiday season, it's natural to feel a sense of joy and anticipation, and yes, even to get a little carried away with the decorating, the shopping, and especially the eating. This time of year brings so much joy to millions. But for many, this year has been marked by difficulties and challenges that can make it hard to find the joy in the season. Whether it's the pandemic, financial struggles, or personal loss, it can be hard to feel the magic of Christmas when we're feeling overwhelmed or struggling. At times like these, we might take a moment to think about the ways in which we can bring more love and joy into the world. We might consider how we could become more inclusive and welcoming to those around us, regardless of their background or beliefs. We might also reflect on the ways in which we can work for justice and fairness, both in our own communities and on a global scale. If you're struggling or wondering how you can bring joy into your life or the lives of others, here are a few ideas. 1. Practicing gratitude. One of the easiest ways to cultivate joy is to focus on the things we're thankful for. This can be as simple as making a list of those things each day or taking a few moments to appreciate small things in life that bring us happiness. When we're feeling down, it's easy to focus on what's not going well, but by actively seeking out things to be grateful for, we can shift our focus and find joy in the present moment. We can connect with loved ones. During the holiday season, it's important to make time for the people who matter the most to us. Whether it's virtual gatherings or socially distanced in-person visits, connecting with loved ones can be a powerful source of joy and support. It's also a wonderful opportunity to let others know how much they mean to us and to express our appreciation for their presence in our lives. We can find joy in simple pleasures. When life is hard, it's easy to lose sight of those little things that bring us joy. Whether it's a warm cup of cocoa, a hug with a fur baby, a cozy blanket, or a good book, taking time to indulge in those small pleasures can help us find happiness and joy in the midst of tough times. We can also find ways to give back. When we're facing our own struggles, it can become really easy to become self-focused. But one way to find joy in this season is by giving back to others. Perhaps you can volunteer at a local food bank, donate to a charity, or simply reach out to someone in need. The act of giving can be a powerful source of fulfillment and joy. And finally, practice mindfulness. When you're feeling overwhelmed, it can be hard to be joyful. It's stressful. But by practicing mindfulness, we can learn to bring our attention to the present moment and to find joy in the simple things that life has to offer. Perhaps you like to meditate or journal, or maybe even just take a few deep breaths and focus on your senses. While the holiday season may be more challenging this year, it's important to remember that joy is something we can cultivate in our lives and in the lives of others. By practicing gratitude, connecting with loved ones, indulging in simple pleasures, giving back, and practicing mindfulness, we can find joy in tough times and make the holiday season a time of hope, love, and celebration. As we gather with loved ones and friends to celebrate this season of holiness, let us remember the importance of compassion and understanding. Let us strive to be kind and loving to one another, and let us work together to create a more just and equitable world. May the spirit of the holidays fill our hearts with joy and hope, and may we carry that spirit with us throughout the coming year. Blessed be.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time, daughters of dust, sons of great vision. We're sisters of mercy and mothers of love, lovers of life and builders of nations. We're seekers of truth, keepers of faith, makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God.
We will extinguish our chalice with words by Howard Thurman. When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home,
when the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost,
to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner,
To rebuild the nations,
to bring peace among all peoples everywhere.
To make music in the heart. Let us take the peace that we have found in this service out into the world.